Why is Jerusalem preparing for the second coming? On that day, his feet will stand on the Mount of Olives east of Jerusalem, and the Mount of Olives will be split in two from east to west, forming a great valley, with half of the mountain moving north and half moving south. Zechariah 14:4. For thousands of years, this city has been the epicenter of humanity's greatest prophecies. But now something strange and unsettling is happening, something that experts cannot explain. Jerusalem is preparing, but for what? What do the authorities know that the rest of the world does not? What hidden message in the scriptures reveals the urgency of this preparation? And most importantly, are we about to witness the return of Jesus with our own eyes? But before we continue, I want to know, where are you watching this video from? Comment below. We want to spread the word of God to more people around the world. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share this video so more people can awaken to the truth. In recent months, archaeologists, geologists, and Bible scholars have been reporting mysterious events in the Holy Land, unusual tremors beneath the Mount of Olives, secret maneuvers behind the scenes of global politics. A new prophetic element is about to be revealed, and it may be too late to stop what is coming. The prophetic clock is counting down. Jesus foretold that there would be clear signs before his return, and now those signs are emerging simultaneously. Matthew 24:42 warns us, "Watch therefore, for you do not know on what day your Lord is coming." But here's what few people realize: a colossal prophetic event may be about to unfold, and Jerusalem is at the heart of this revolution. But is humanity ready for what is about to happen? Or have we already passed the point of no return? In the next few minutes, you will uncover the hidden truth about the greatest prophecy of our time. What is being kept from the world? How does this directly connect to the return of Jesus? And what do you need to know before it's too late? Stay until the end and get ready. This may be the most important video you will ever watch in your life. Now let's go straight to the first sign proving that Jerusalem is preparing for the second coming. The first sign: Israel was reborn. Has the prophecy been fulfilled? The Bible made it clear that before the return of Jesus, something humanly impossible would happen. Israel would be reborn as a nation. For centuries, scholars doubted this prophecy. After all, how could a people scattered for nearly 2,000 years return to their land and rebuild their country? And yet, it happened. Who has ever heard of such a thing? Who has seen such things? Can a land be born in one day? Or can a nation be brought forth in a moment? Yet no sooner is Zion in labor than she gives birth to her children. Isaiah 66:8. Renowned historian Paul Johnson, author of A History of the Jews, describes May 14, 1948, as one of the most improbable moments in modern history. Against all odds, David Ben-Gurion, Israel's first prime minister, officially declared the independence of the State of Israel. The decision came just hours before the British mandate over Palestine was set to expire. With a population of only 600,000 Jews and surrounded by enemies, Israel was born under immediate threat. The next day, a coalition of 5 Arab nations declared war on the new state. Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, and Iraq invaded Israel, convinced that the newly formed nation would not survive. But against all expectations, Israel endured. In a war that seemed impossible to win, the country not only survived, but solidified its existence. The birth of Israel was more than a political milestone. It was the fulfillment of an ancient prophecy. The world watched in astonishment, but few grasped the spiritual significance of this event. The restoration of Israel was the first great sign that the prophetic clock had begun to count down. If Israel's prophecy has already been fulfilled, what comes next? The second sign: the gathering of the Jewish people. The dispersion of the Jewish people was one of history's greatest tragedies. After the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 AD, the Jews were scattered to the 4 corners of the earth. They were persecuted, expelled, and endured countless trials. But God had made a promise. "Then the Lord your God will restore your fortunes and have compassion on you, and gather you again from all the nations where he scattered you." Deuteronomy 33. And this is happening now. Since the rebirth of Israel, an extraordinary phenomenon has taken place. Between 1948 and today, over 3.6 million Jews have returned to Israel. The country's population has grown from 600,000 to over 9 million people, with nearly half of the world's Jewish population now residing in Israel. One of the largest waves of immigration occurred after the fall of the Soviet Union. Between 1989 and 2006, when approximately 1.3 million Jews from Russia and former Soviet republics moved to Israel. Additionally, thousands of Jews from Ethiopia and other parts of Africa were rescued in secret missions such as Operation Moses and Operation Solomon. The question is, what is driving this return? Why have so many Jews suddenly decided to return to the land of their ancestors? Experts point to economic and political reasons, but there is a factor few mention. An invisible force is gathering this people once again, a calling recorded in the scriptures thousands of years ago. Is this merely a coincidence, or is it part of a much greater divine plan? The third sign. Is the third temple about to be built? For centuries, the Jewish people have awaited the reconstruction of the third temple. According to the Bible, this temple will play a central role in the final events of humanity. Jesus spoke of the temple in his prophecies. The book of Daniel refers to it. The book of Revelation places it at the heart of the end times. And now there is something few people know. The rebuilding may be much closer than most imagine. The Temple Institute in Jerusalem has already prepared all the necessary items for temple sacrifices and rituals. The priests are already being trained. The only thing missing is authorization for construction, but there is a major problem. The site traditionally accepted for the construction of the third temple is the Temple Mount, where the Dome of the Rock currently stands, one of Islam's holiest sites. This means that any attempt to begin construction could trigger a global war. Religious extremist groups, both Muslim and Jewish, are closely watching any movement toward this goal. The mere mention of a plan to rebuild the temple has already sparked violent protests in the past. Is this impasse an impossible obstacle to overcome, or is something happening behind the scenes to resolve this issue? If the prophecy is truly fulfilled, it means that the world is about to witness one of the most explosive events in modern history. The rebirth of Israel, the return of the Jewish people, preparations for the third temple, and the growing hostility toward Jerusalem are not mere coincidences. The question is no longer if these events will happen, but when the next great prophetic milestone will occur. And there is one last mystery that few people know. A geological event is happening right now beneath the Mount of Olives. Scientists are perplexed. The Bible foretold that at the moment of Christ's return, the Mount of Olives would split in two, and now inexplicable tremors are occurring exactly in that location. Could Zechariah 14:4's prophecy be on the verge of fulfillment? The world is rapidly approaching the most significant moment in history. The question is, are you ready? Many believe these events may take years or even centuries to unfold. Others believe we are only one step away from the final fulfillment. But there is something everyone should know. The prophecy is not just a warning for believers, it is also a wake-up call for skeptics. Many ignored the signs in the past. Many mocked those who warned about the end times. But what if this time the scriptures are right? What if we are living in the final moments before the return of Jesus? For those who believe, it is a time of preparation. For those who doubt, it is a time for reflection. Because when the final piece of this puzzle is placed, there will be no more time for repentance. The choice is before all of us. What will you do with this information? The final sign. What will happen when it's too late? For centuries, scholars and theologians have studied biblical prophecies about the end times. Some have interpreted the signs as symbolic events, while others have always believed they would be real, concrete, and undeniable manifestations. Now we are facing a moment when these prophecies can no longer be ignored. The signs have already happened. Israel was reborn. The Jewish people returned. The reconstruction of the Third Temple is one step away from becoming a reality. Political and spiritual tensions in Jerusalem have never been higher, and as if that weren't enough, the earth is shaking beneath the Mount of Olives. Zechariah 14:4 warns us that on the day of Christ's return, on that day his feet will stand on the Mount of Olives, east of Jerusalem, and the Mount of Olives will be split in two from east to west, forming a great valley. And now geologists are confirming that an active seismic fault exists precisely in that location. Could this be just a natural geological phenomenon, or is it a clear sign that something momentous is about to happen? Around the world, events seem to be accelerating. Wars, rumors of wars, pandemics, global crises, natural disasters, and a growing division among nations and peoples. Matthew 24:6-8 describes this with chilling accuracy. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of birth pains. Throughout history, many civilizations and empires have ignored the signs of their own downfall until it was too late. In the days of Noah, people mocked the idea of a flood. In Sodom and Gomorrah, no one believed the city would be destroyed. Even Jesus himself warned that the last days would be like the days of Noah. For in the days before the flood, people were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day Noah entered the ark, and they knew nothing about what would happen until the flood came and took them all away. Matthew 24:38-39. How many are ignoring the signs now? How many still believe all of this is just a coincidence? How many will realize too late that time has run out? Jerusalem is preparing, the prophecy is unfolding, the signs are before us. Now only one question remains: are you ready for what is coming? Time is running out. What will you do now? Therefore keep watch, because you do not know on what day your Lord will come. Matthew 24:42. The Bible has always been clear. The signs would be evident, but few would pay attention. Now Jerusalem is preparing, prophetic events are unfolding before our eyes, and humanity is divided between those who see and those who choose to ignore. Prophecies are not just stories from the past. They are warnings about the future. God has given us signs so that we would be ready, so that we would recognize the time we are living in. What else needs to happen for the world to wake up? Are you ready to face the truth? Many will continue living their lives as if nothing is happening. Many will continue to mock, doubt, and reject the call. But what if it's true? What if Jesus is truly at the door? With each passing day, we move closer to the greatest revelation in history. Time is not slowing down. The prophetic clock continues to move forward. And now, the decision is in your hands. Do not ignore the signs. Do not wait until it is too late, because when the moment comes, there will be no turning back. Did you enjoy what we shared here? Give us a like and share this video with someone who needs to know this truth. Let's spread the wisdom of the Holy Bible together. If you want to dive even deeper into this topic, I've prepared an ebook with a complete study, which you can find in the video description and in the first comment. Don't miss it.